Hi everybody, Jonathan here with another Twinmotion video today, and today we're going to look at some very exciting news. So I found this on Twitter. I was just sort of scrolling around and I noticed a brand new post today, May the 10th, where we've basically got some exciting new news on new features that have come to Twinmotion 2023. So it's something that I know the community have been asking for quite some time. We've now got this new composition grid that will really help you frame up your shots a bit like a professional photographer would. So I'm really keen to look at that. We've also got custom frame rates for videos. That's something else that I've been quite keen to see for a while. And assigning materials to your selections and more. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but join me for this video and let's find out together. So if you're new around here, I've just hit 14,000 subscribers. I really appreciate a like and subscribe, and I look forward to making lots more videos for you. So let's get into this. Thanks for watching as ever. Okay, so if you go to your Twinmotion launcher in the Epic launcher, you'll notice that there is the brand new update for Twinmotion 2023.1.1. So I've downloaded this already. It's not a massive download. It's only about 400 megabytes. So that's pretty small. And basically, let's go ahead and launch this and see what the new version offers. So we've got this nice new loading screen on the new version, which I've been enjoying for a while. And here we go, we've got the new interface. Now, of course, it opens up with the little home screen. So I've already got this file. I think what I'm going to do is just open up, maybe just to begin with, this little product work table. And I'll just take a quick look at a couple of features here, and then we'll look at something a lot more architectural as well. Okay, so let's just let this file load up and we'll take a look at these new features together and a few other things as well. All right, so I'm just going to maximize my screen. So you can see here we are in Twinmotion. This is a really nice little scene if you've not seen it. It's one that I think is excellent for sort of showing off the benefits of things like product design, and it's one that I've had a good fun playing around with. Now don't forget, if you want to see it in its true glory, you just need to click R or click onto the path tracer to start the path tracing. And just let that render, and it will take a few seconds to render with the path tracing. Now that's already rendered. I'm going to render it on low settings because those are my preferred options. So it means I can kind of navigate around in real time and still get, you know, that kind of accuracy of lighting as well. Okay, so what we're going to now do, let's set up our first view. So I'm going to go down to media. I'm going to click on plus to create a brand new view here. And the very first feature that I'm keen to see is if I go to my camera, you now notice that as well as the traditional things like sort of focal length, too, well, let's just turn off the path tracing while we do these changes. So things like focal length. We've also got depth of field, of course, but down here we've got composition overlays. You'll notice now we've got this fantastic new grid facility. So with the grid on, you'll notice you can kind of scroll down, and basically it's really nice. You can basically divide the images into the rule of thirds and do the sort of traditional kind of focusing there if you want. Let me just turn the path tracer off for a second. I can also increase the number of rows. I'm not sure why you would need that many, but maybe that would be interesting for some people. But you can basically frame it up exactly how you want in sort of different quadrants. I normally go for 3x3 traditional sort of photography composition. So that's a really good little feature. And if you do want to, you can actually change the colors here, which is quite nice. I quite like that, just to kind of customize it a little bit more to your requirements. So as well as for the images, we've now also got the safe stills, the safe area for video as well. So it looks a bit distracting with both, so we'll turn that one off. And finally, you've even got the custom safe as well. So all of these colors are customizable, but what's really nice is you can kind of just navigate around your scene, maybe just create a few new images with those on. But the beauty is they are part of the scene. So if you turn them off and update, you'll see that they actually get saved as part of that scene. So let me just take that one back down, refresh. So you'll notice that that one's gone now. So very, very simple, but very elegant little solution to a feature that's been well requested for many, many a year and now added in the new Twinmotion. So thank you very much. And we can also go down and go to, let's turn that grid off and go to safe areas. So with the safe areas enabled, this is particularly nice for your videos. You can see we can control all of those. There's even a sort of custom safe area as well. So it does mean that when you're kind of previewing out your animations, it really, really helps as you kind of like develop those designs. And basically you can really kind of keep a focal point on the bit that you really want to. I like the way the animation actually takes into account of the moving safe areas as well, which is actually very cool. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll take a look at the next new feature. Okay, so here we are. I've gone onto my media dock and just popped this up. I just wanted to show you that I've gone over to videos. Now there's some really nice little videos in here, and what you can see they've done is basically put this on a turntable so it kind of rotates around this product shot. You can have a quick look at the pre-made ones and a few different sort of types of atmosphere that they've actually got with different types of lighting as well. I like this one with the multicolours. Let's have a quick look at that one with the ray tracing on, or path tracing. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. So again, let's just keep that on. I think medium settings will do the job just fine, and you can see it rendered super quick. Okay, so these are definitely something you can take a look at in this demo file. Let's go back to the studio setting and let's go over to video, and we'll click on our first video here. So with all these different videos, I quite like this very first one, so let's click onto this one. Basically, what I can now do, if I want to, is kind of move my camera, okay, and basically put a couple of keyframes in. Okay, so I'm going to put it into slow speed. Going to kind of rotate up a little bit more just so we can kind of really see that product. And all I need to do now is rewind, play, and you see not only have I got this gorgeous animation, I've actually got this really nice little turntable with the model on as well. So this is absolutely fantastic, and when I'm ready I can render this out as a full-on video. Now what's interesting is if I go to the camera, you'll notice that I can also use the camera composition. As well as the grid, I might not want the grid, I might want the safe areas instead. So these are the sort of custom safe areas that I can set in my kind of camera just to enable all of those, just to make sure that I basically get the video exactly right when I preview. So let's go ahead and preview. I can see my action safe and camera safe preview dialogues there. And what we'll do, we'll render this one out and take a look. You can see I've just missed off the top bit there. So what I might do is just adjust that camera ever so slightly and just update. So hopefully now, when I play through one more time, I've kind of missed, you know, having to render out and re-render the shot again, just because I went out of the camera safe zone. So this is going to save a lot of time for both compositing and animation particularly. The next new feature that I want to show you is about applying materials. So if you look at the top, we've got three new modes basically now. We've got the original one, which was replace material. So basically, look, if I drag and drop a material onto this trainer or sneaker, as you might know in America, basically you can see it's going to add it to the entire shoe. Okay, so then the next step is that we go to apply just to the object. So what this means is I can basically apply it to a single object. Now, as you can see, I'm not necessarily a sneaker designer, but let's just drag in a few of these new materials. I have also downloaded some of these extra nice new materials that Twinmotion have given me as well. So I can kind of drag and drop. What happens is they take a few seconds to load in the very first time, but then the second time that you bring them in, you'll notice they're a lot faster. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool. I'm quite enjoying just having a bit of sort of design on this new shoe, as it were. Okay, but the next new feature is what we can do is simply apply to selection. So where this comes in really handy is you can basically select items in the project. Let's select this book, for example, and basically just drag a material straight onto it. Now that is a bit different in that you'll notice I'm not actually dragging it onto the object, I'm actually just dragging it into the scene. And the reason this is a bit different is if I hold the control key down on PC, select multiple items, let's get all three of those books and those ones as well. Okay, then when I basically drag on the material, let's drag something, that doesn't really matter, but let's just go for this one. You can see it immediately drags it onto the selected objects. So this is the new feature. It just makes it a lot easier sometimes rather than applying to loads of different objects, just to be able to select them first quite rapidly and then apply to the selection. So I think that's a really nice new little feature. As I say, you don't have to drag it all the way onto the object. You can just basically load it up. So guys, what do you think? I think that's definitely a nice little improvement. And I'm not sure what you think of my trainer design, but I think this could be a next big thing, definitely. Okay, so just before we finish, I'm just going to kind of carry on working on my shoe design a little bit more. What I noticed was if you go into this nice file, you've got the turntable here, and this is where you can actually play the animation, or of course, when you don't want to do it, you just stop the animation. There's some other nice adjustments in there as well, so you can kind of actually play it in all the different directions, which is quite fun to play with. But of course the Z axis is the one we want, and we can also sort of speed it up, which is pretty insane, or we can slow it right down. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down, stop the animation just for a moment, and basically I can work on this design a little bit more, a lot more easily, just sort of while it's kind of going through. So again, it's quite fun to do. I'm just kind of giving it some sort of funky colours. And when I'm ready, I can basically turn on that animation again just by selecting it on the turntable there. So the next new feature that I really wanted to show you is the animation frame rate, the custom frame rate. So what we do, we go onto the video. Okay, I've got my little video. Let's just remind ourselves where we got to. So it's spinning around, and you can see I've got this nice little kind of keyframe here. Okay, so when I'm ready, as well as that sort of moving forward, I'll just turn the turntable back on one more time. Basically, what we can now do is go and export our animation. So I'm going to go ahead and click export. Over here, I've now selected the video that I want to export, this pretty much studio one that I've just set up here. Let's go for it. Okay, so a very nice other additional feature here is, as well as the framing, we've now got the ability, if we go into our video, when we get to the export stage, to actually just vary the frame rate. And you'll notice we've got the additional frame rates of 25, 60, 120, and pretty much anything in between. So I've often rendered at 60 FPS to get silky smooth renderings and animations. Definitely something you should have a go with. Well everyone, thanks ever so much for watching this Twinmotion video. I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.